Hello everybody and welcome to Panthers TV. You're joined here with me, Sam Hurst, as we look ahead to another weekend of Nottingham Panthers action. Now, it was a busy one last weekend with 3 games away from home, but Saturday sees the return of the Panthers to the Motorpoint Arena, taking on the Coventry Blaze, then a game away over the borders on Sunday to the Fife Flyers. Let's kickstart your weekend preview by chatting to your head coach, Danny Stewart.
Danny, how do you look back over the weekend? 2 close games against Belfast and then a really important win, I think, against Dundee. But as a whole, how would you assess those 3 games?
I think for first game in Belfast was probably the best game we played. Unfortunately, we ran into a hot goalie, didn't finish a lot of chances, and you end up on the wrong side of that score. Second night, I didn't think we were very good. I thought we had a lot of guys that weren't at the races, and yeah, it was 2-2 in the third there, and they got a one with halfway through the period. But I didn't think the game was as close as the score reflected. I think I thought Jason put in a really good performance, and I think without him that night, it's probably a 4-1, 5-1 game. I think Sunday, obviously always going to be tough playing your third in 3 days. With the travel, but I think our guys did enough. I thought the first period probably won us that hockey game. We came out ready to go. Everyone was clicking. I think second period was just okay. Third period, I think fatigue set in maybe a little bit, and we found a way to win. Again, Jason made some big saves there in the third to kind of preserve that lead and allow us to hang on and get the empty netter. But as a whole, okay in terms of performance. Like I said, the Friday night was probably our best performance, but would have liked to have picked a little bit more up from the weekend than we did.
For Sunday, you changed your second and third lines around, and you got a bit of secondary scoring. How important was that?
Yeah, very important, very important. I think, when we were on that streak, before Christmas, leading into the Christmas stretch, we were getting that secondary scoring and spread out through the lines. So, you can't rely on one line every night and expect to win consistently in this league. It's just too good. So, to get that secondary scoring was very important. Obviously, helped us win a hockey game, and it's got to be consistent week in, week out.
I know we touched on Jason, and you mentioned him there, but I think it's worthy of another point. Obviously, he's come in very new to the organisation and probably been thrown into more games than he thought he would be. Very probably testament to his character that he's putting in big performances night in, night out, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that wants more games. He wants to play. But obviously with the Bednard situation, I think having to play a 3-3 specifically isn't an easy ask, and he gave us a chance to win every night, and it was a big difference, and probably that second game being as tight as it was, and possibly even us finding a way to win that game in Dundee as well. So. He played great for us, and I spoke to him as well, and I think what people forget is when you come into a new situation, Bednard had been playing so well for us. It's tough to tell Beds to take a seat, and I think what the injury to Bednard did was create a window of opportunity for Jason, and he took it, and he killed it this weekend. Like I said, he was phenomenal.
Coventry on Saturday, what do you expect from them? Obviously, they'll have fresh in their mind what happened last time. Do you think that will be kind of in their minds, obviously, or is it just a new page for them?
It's a wash, I think. It's, that Christmas stretch is a tough grind for everybody, and, maybe caught them on a night they weren't at the races and we were, and that's what happens. But, Coventry's a hard-working team. They're a very good team, and, I expect a different team this time around.
And then you go to Fife again, a team that's kind of struggling at the moment, but you see that they're putting in the effort and such force. What sort of game do you expect there, even though they're short bench?
Well, I think last weekend was the first time they kind of got back to as close to full strength as possible. I think they were missing a couple of Brits with the U20s, or at least one Brody K, and gives them a little bit more depth on the back end. But I think they were running 3 full lines of imports, and I think certainly we watched a lot of the Fife Dundee game in scouting Dundee, and they had a lot of energy, a lot of opportunities to score in that game that they didn't convert. So I think you're seeing a Fife team that's maybe going to get back to at least being somewhat competitive, and we got to be ready. Look, at the end of the day, they're gonna flip somebody over at some point. So, and Body's back. They got Martineau back in the lineup again, and he's a big piece of that top line that was at one point, 3 of the top 5 scorers. And I think it's not going to be an easy night. And a trip up there, on the second day of a weekend is never easy either. So, certainly going to have to be at our best.
As we said earlier, 3 games on the bounce away is one of the busiest weekends in the season schedule, but we reset this weekend trying to get those important points in the Elite League. Why don't we chat to your forward, Otto Nieminen.
Joined by Otto Nieminen. And Otto, just tell me how crucial, I think, Sunday, after being so close in those 2 games against Belfast, how crucial was it, do you think, to get the points on Sunday against Dundee?
Yeah, very important 2 points. Probably everybody knew and thought it would be hard to be 3 games in 3 days, but I was surprised how well we played and everybody had energy. I've never had that before in my pro career, so I was surprised how much you still had energy after the ferry and everything. So, but it was very important 2 points.
You were reunited with Hugo and Diedrich, a line that served well before. How pleasing was it to be back with the 2 of them again? And obviously you got the points.
Yeah, it's always fun to be with in the 3 Musketeers line, and we've had a lot of different connections this season, different lines. So hopefully, if we stay together, we can get that form we had last season. We kind of know each other very well on and off the ice. So. It was definitely fun and nice to have right away some scores.
And what about the 2 games in Belfast? You can look at it 2 ways. Once again, you've run a top team close. You've only effectively lost by a goal, because probably not really going to count those empty nets, if you see what I mean. But is the frustration there that you're coming close in some of these games, but just not getting over the line?
Yeah, I think we've played very well on the first game, and also second wasn't maybe that good, but we were so close, and we had the chances, just a bit unlucky and didn't score on those. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, because we if we want to win the league, we need to get points from the top 3 and teams, and also have to. It's also nice when you have so many fans there, like every time. So fun trip, but a bit frustrating to not get any points from Belfast.
You talk about the title race. It's an amazing title race this year. I think there's 9 or 10 points now between the top 5. It is really fascinating, don't you feel, that there's so many teams that think they're in a chance of winning this?
Yeah, I think definitely that's better that way than having 1 or 2 teams that are far away from others. It's it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You just have to always go humble and be on your best to get those 2 points. So it's an exciting league this season.
And just finally, it's Coventry on Saturday at home. It's set to be a 4th successive sellout, which is just a fabulous achievement from the fans. How do you feel that backing's been recently?
That's just awesome. It's always been loud, but especially when it's sold out, and we try to do our best and hopefully get the same result than last time against them.
There we have it, all set for our return to the Motorpoint Arena this Saturday, taking on the Coventry Blaze. That's a 7 p.m. face-off, and we hope to see as many of you guys there as possible. A reminder, this Saturday's game is Pride Night, and you can grab your tickets for that now at panthers.co.uk. We will see you there.